Alright. Alright, guys. Alright, lads and ladies. Did you miss the rant? We're just about to get started. Alright. Let's talk about mounts. Let's talk about mount skins. Let's talk about RNG. Let's talk about microtransactions, and let's talk about why it became a thing in Guild Wars 2. Because I've got quite a bit of things to say on the matter. So basics, right? So everyone's in on this. Yesterday, Tuesday, we got a patch where we got I'm gonna brush over this real quick. We got 31 new mount skins. One of them was sold for 2,000 gems. This metal goat, which you can dye in a million ways. This metal goat, you can dye the effects of it. Apparently it's the jackal. So apparently that sand portal that you see it drops behind, apparently you can dye that. You can dye the engage skills. You can dye all of those crazy effects that kind of come out of this, right? Pretty intense shit right there, right? 2,000 gems. In an economy where to buy gems, or in a system where to buy gems, you can't buy 2,000 gems. You can buy 1,600, you can buy 2,800. You can throw $20 down, and you can exchange some gold, or you can throw 35 euros. I've got it in euros here. It's dollars as well, but like the exchange rate apparently is 1-to-1 for ArenaNet, so who knows. Or you can throw 2,800 gems into it, and just kind of sit on your 800 gems. Of course, those 800 gems needs to be spent on something else. And what else do we have than the new mount adoption license? And the mount adoption license, you can do it 3 ways, right? You can buy one mount skin for 400 gems, which is just, oh my god, how does that, like, oh, there's exactly two pulls just for getting the super expensive goat here, metal goat. Or you can buy 10, or of course you can go for the there you go, the full 30 pack for 9,600 gems. That's just a little under or above $120. And with that, you get 30 different mounts. Now these mounts they're cool. I'll be the first to admit they're mega cool. Some of them are, at least some of them are kind of basic. There's like 2 basic where it's just a retexturing. Then there's 2 where you've got a bit of crazy effects, and then you've got like effects and retexturing, which is like there's a lot of different things, right? Pretty cool. This one, really love it. This one, not so much. Kind of don't want it. This one, top notch. Kind of like it. Would I pay a buttfuck amount of money? Probably not. Probably not. Would I pay 400 gems? Sure. This one, I'm not a big fire fan. This one's pretty cool. It's got a cool texture effect kind of deal. The only skimmer that kind of got me interested in using the skimmer, because I really don't like the skimmer design in general, but yeah, whatever. Most of these, they're just like different patterns. But the biggest sell is that obviously they have a lot more mount or what's it called, dye channels, right? Now I'll be perfectly honest. If I could pick and choose, I'd get about 4 maybe 5 of these mounts, just to like vary them a little bit. 2 of them, this one and this one, are on my top list of mount skins I told myself I wanted, regardless of however I was gonna be getting them, right? I didn't mind if it was gonna be a buttfuck ton of money for the skin itself, but, and this is where the kicker comes in. This is where the kicker comes in. to get any of these 30 mounts, except for the big metal goat, it's RNG. It's random number generator. This packet of like 10 that you can buy, or like 1 or 10, it's RNG. It's a 30-sided die that you roll at a chance to get any of these 30 ones. And so those 400 gems suddenly, to me at least, and to a lot of other people players, seem kind of extreme. Kind of extreme. Now I'm not gonna lie, I could probably convert all my gold, and I could get all of those 30 mounts to exchange the gem rate for all of those 30 for the big one, the 7-day where is it? I'm just kind of, the 7-day sale for all of them. This only lasts for 7 days, by the way. Then it's 10,000 or 11,000 something. This is like 3,000 gold. 3,000 gold or $120. Pick your poison, right? And so a lot of people are very, very dissatisfied with the RNG aspect, and I don't blame them. I don't blame them. I myself had a big moral dilemma yesterday when this came into the game. For hours and hours and hours on end, I was constantly almost like looking myself in the mirror saying, "You're not gonna do it. Don't do it. Don't do it." And the main reason for that, it's a purely personal one, because I don't blame anyone. I don't blame ArenaNet for making this system. I don't necessarily, there's an asterisk on that one, and I don't blame the people that actually buy it. Feel free to do it. Like, more power to you. Do it. Do it. Get those sweet ass mounts. Now I've always had, or always, 2 years ago, Heart of Thorns came out, and we got the first taste of what was like this pseudo mount system. It was gliders. Gliders didn't really, mounts at the time didn't really fit into the whole Guild Wars 2 scene. We had waypoints, we could go everywhere. So how do you spice up things? Boom, gliders. You can get some more maneuverability. Now, I've bought a total of 3 gliders. It's this one, the Raven glider, the Soul glider, a Soul River glider, which is one of the super early ones. It was like a raid themed one. Everyone bought this. And the electromagnetic descender. I don't know. I really regret buying this. This one I got out of a Black Lion chest wardrobe unlock gamble. This one was given to me, and this one was, I don't actually remember. I think it was another one of those RNG Black Lion chest things. And these I already had. I kind of wanted the wings already. These I already have. So, okay, let's say I'll bought 5 then. This is the Heart of Thorns one. But if you watch it, there's a million other glider skins, and I don't ever look at them. Whenever it's introduced into the game, I don't look at them, and that's because I knew from the very start that we were gonna get legendary back pieces of in one way, shape, or form. And those back pieces were already early on promoted to be with Heart of Thorns. So I said very early on, I bought a few of the gliders just to kind of feel diverse, do something diverse, look different than just the basic glider, because the basic glider looks like ass. Let's be honest. And then I decided for myself, I'm only ever going to be wielding the legendary back pieces. That's all I wanted. That's all the gliders I want to use. Now I'm a little hypocrite here, because on my Guardian actually I go for the whole angelic theme, and well, I usually use the white feather wings, but legendary back pieces. And so I said to myself, all right, I'm gonna get all of them, regardless of how hard they are to get, regardless of the method, regardless of whether it's PvP, World vs. World, PvE. I'll get it. Now for mounts, I have no idea if that's ever going to be a thing. I have no idea whether we're ever going to be seeing a moment in time where we're going to get an in-game acquirable mount skin. And that scares me. It scares me because how deep does the rabbit hole go with all of this, all of these mounts, right? Now, that's my stance. And so when all of these mounts were introduced to the game yesterday, I really had to look myself in the eye and tell myself, wait, just wait and see if there's ever gonna be anything. I'm actually gonna turn off the music here real quick. If there's ever gonna be anything that you can get through the game to just in-game acquisition. Wait, let me read a couple of comments here. It's fucking mount skins. They need to fund the next X pack somehow. More and more people keep leaving the game each passing month. All right, so let's address this. Let's address this because mount skins are not a problem. They're not a problem inherently. The method of acquire them is not necessarily inherently the problem, right? It's a multifaceted problem, and it all begins with these fucking things. Let me find real quick. Where these fucking things. It all began with these, the black line chests. August 2016. We Hub Boys, welcome. Thanks for the follow. 2016, August. Let me show you this real quick. Let me show you the trend real quick that I've been watching, especially after the launch of Pacifier, right? All right. I'm gonna hide a little bit here. All right, let me do. All right, here we go. Desktop. Right, here we go. I'm gonna wait. Order. Give me a second here. I'm just gonna make this a little bit more beautiful. There we go. There we go. All right, desktop. Right. August here. This is where it all started. This is the moment in time where everything from ArenaNet's I'll preface this by saying that this is how I view it. Other people might say that it's a little bit different. It happened earlier. It happened differently. There's a million different facets to this entire discussion, and I'll agree. I completely agree. I'm making huge, sweeping, generalizing statements right now, and keep that in mind. But right here, August 2016, this was this slope was the introduction of the first RNG thing that we got into Guild Wars 2. It was the fucking plastic sword. It was this ugly ass. Let me show you real quick. Now I'm gonna insult a few people here by saying this. It was this plastic sword, the elemental sword. It looks like plastic to me. Everyone wanted it. There was effects. There was a method of acquiring it. It was crazy. Everyone was hyping for it. This was this slope. This is a standard interest slope, right? What happened here? What happened when it spiked? This is the highest the gem to gold, gold to gem ratio has ever been in the history of Guild Wars 2. What happened right there was that they put black line chest keys on sale. This was during the August sales that happened all throughout August, right? They put black line chest keys on sale, and that showed ArenaNet one of two things, right? It was either that the community was willing to shell out a lot of money for that one RNG skin if the price was right, right? And that was the interesting thing. If the price was right and the reward was right, people were willing to throw anything at it. All right, so from here on, we started to see more and more things come into the black line chests, and my buddy Inks, MMO Inks on YouTube, he has a great series where he covers all of the changes that have happened over the year or over the last year with the different changes that they've made to the black line chest keys and blah blah blah, all the drops, everything, right? He's got great material if you want to look through that. He's got some great sweeping points about what he wanted to change it, blah blah. Right, go see it if you're interested in that. Right, what we've seen ever since here was that we've seen more and more RNG elements come into the Black Lion chest keys. Now, this includes but is not limited to guaranteed wardrobe unlocks, different skins, both back pieces, weapons, full outfits. They've done a lot of just to incentivize people in general so that the loss wouldn't seem so humongous. They've introduced, we already had the Black Lion ticket, claim ticket, which was the super early gamble system. If we want to go way back, they've introduced Black Lion miniature tickets, which is another RNG thing that you can collect, blah blah blah. It's like this slow build up to getting an actual prize, right? But you feel that super win when you get one ticket or whatnot. We've had commemorative sprockets, which was a little different acquisition. We've had that Bitterfrost Frontier exotic weapons vendor where you could get X amount of tokens. You had to get X amount of tokens from these gamble things. Let me preview here real quick. Can I preview? No. Oh, that's why. You had to get X amount of things, and they even threw in like precursors onto that, and they did a whole lot of things to incentivize people to go about differently, like to introduce different incentives for people to keep on buying into this mild gamble, and I'll call it a gamble for now, but yeah. Oh yeah, one of the latest additions is a golden Black Lion chest key. Unlocks Black Lion chest with a guaranteed uncommon or better, which is all anyone ever wants, right? It's the uncommon or better. This is usually where all the money goes into. It's getting these fucking skins. This even has a helmet as well that I kind of want, never gonna get, but whatever. So yeah, let's go back here for a second to the gem to gold, gold to gem ratio. So we've seen a couple spikes. Nothing has really hit on. Like, nothing has ever hit that spike. August 2016, that's the highest gold to gem, gem to gold ratio we've ever seen. And gold to gem, to give you a point of reference, right? Gold to gem, gem to gold ratio has to do with how much money people are throwing in. Like how much real money people are spending on the game versus how much gold, in-game acquired gold, is spent on converting that gold to gems, right? It's an up and down slope. They manage each other, and they always have to be in some kind of unsteady relationship, or kind of steady actually. Because if the gold to gem ratio ever goes crazy, the other one will just even out because people are gonna pump money into the other version of it, right? That's just kind of how it works. That's why we get these huge spikes sometimes. So if we narrow this down a bit, like keep that in mind for a second. Keep August 2016 in mind. This is the highest it's ever been. 24.5 gold gem to gold, and gold to gem was like 40 gold, almost 40 gold. So we get the Pacifier. Pacifier has what we would expect. This is okay here. This is the introduction of Pacifier, right? Let me narrow this back down a little bit. This is the introduction of Pacifier. This is hype building. This is a lot of gems getting in from like people buying the exclusive versions, people trying to get back to the game. There's a lot of hype that goes in. People want to get ready. Pacifier launches about, what is that, like right here, and boom, this is a natural drop for any expansion economy that you'll ever see in any game, because this is especially for Guild Wars, this is what you get when a lot of people are pumping a lot of hours into a game where they're acquiring a lot of gold, and they have nothing really to spend it on, right? Especially for Pacifier, because Pacifier compared to Heart of Thorns, and I'll show you this comparison in a second. Pacifier compared to Heart of Thorns had an insane percentile drop from, like, we're all the way down to here, we're all the way down to Gem to Gold is like 15 gold compared to like 20 gold. That's a 25% reduction of the Gem to Gold ratio just from that. Heart of Thorns had like 10 overall, 10-15%. This is crazy, and this was all because there's no again, I'm making generally sweeping statements here. This was all due to there not being any real crazy money sinks introduced with Pacifier, and so people accumulated a lot of gold, and they threw that maybe at the gem store. They threw it into the market. Prices on everything on the market went down. It all kind of went tits up. And what do we have? We have a long haul, which is like a month of just steady decline. For I'll say this real quick. For Heart of Thorns, this decline took approximately 6 months before it started going back up, because there's a much bigger incentive all the way through, but a slow, steady incentive. There's gliders getting into the game. There are a lot of high-end, top-tier rewards that came in. Blah blah blah. October. Now we hit this spike. This spike is the introduction of mount skins. This is the introduction of mount skins. The first time. This is Halloween skins. Just a couple weeks ago. It almost instantaneously put the gem to gold, gold to gem ratio back on pre Pacifier levels for a little bit, and then it ebbed out. And then we get to yesterday. Where that it topped right there at 11 a.m. or what is that? 9 p.m. my time. It topped at approximately 34 gold to gem ratio. That's a lot of money getting poured in. That's a lot of money being poured in from the community, because you can see the what's it called, the red line here. The gold to gem ratio is a little, the average is pretty crazy here. But like it spiked intensely. A lot of people threw a lot of money in for good reasons. Cool skins, super cool skins. Mount skins are one of the most interesting things that people want in this game, right? Especially after Pacifier. It's the most exclusive, big ass shiny shit that you get from the gem store now. And so a lot of people threw a lot of gold in. Comparable to like the highest peak we ever saw. This is still, we're still way off. This is August. We're still way off. We're like 10 to 5 gold away. But we're getting pretty close, especially if you consider the percentile rise, right? We're basically going up to levels above pre-Pacifier, where all the hype was going on, just from mount skins getting introduced. And I'm showing you this. This is the reason. The reason why I'm showing you this is to show you guys that there are two main factors as far as I see when it comes to like gem store and how it's getting marketed. We know from like earlier what's it called, polls and stuff that I've seen going around on Reddit, that the median age distribution of the Guild Wars 2 community is that of like my age. They're the people that are just like coming out of their studies, they're getting real jobs, they're actually getting paychecks, and then like above. There's not a whole lot of like younger people in the community than like the 23 and upwards kind of deal. I think it's like 2022 is like where the median peaks or whatnot for like for the player population. And so ArenaNet knows that we're a community that has disposable income, at least to a certain degree. We're interested in this game, and apparently we're willing to shell out a lot of money if we feel like it. Like, if the price is right or whatnot. Like, I'll show you something funny, actually. It peaked, and this downwards curve all happened at like, what is that, a couple of hours after the whole debacle kind of exploded on Reddit, and everyone went crazy and said that this is an outrage and this is horrible. How can ArenaNet do it? And the reason why they can do it, the reason why they feel like they can do it, is because the players have shown time and time and time again that they are willing to throw money at the RNG gamble in this game. Despite what we say on Reddit, despite what everyone seems to believe, that, oh, you should just vote with your wallet. That's not the case, guys. This is here to stay. This is how microtransactions in general have become such a huge thing in the gaming industry, because we are the generation that have disposable income to a certain degree, and we're invested in these games enough that we want to throw money at them, a lot of money at times. And so we get a scenario where what we get is 30 mounts thrown in, which isn't like, it's not even, let's look at it half objectively, right? It's not even really that bad of an RNG kind of scenario, because you're guaranteed to get something every time. It's not like this horrible Black Lion chess system where you're not guaranteed to get jack shit. Like, if you roll a die, you might get 2 miniature toy miniature eggs and then a fucking Black Lion material bag. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. This is a better system, objectively. This is a better system because it's a win-win. Regardless of what you do, it's a win-win. You always get something. But people got so frustrated. But not enough people got frustrated. I'll point that out. Not enough people got frustrated about it to not will vote with their wallet, so to speak. And I don't blame them. I'll say this. I'll say this time and time again. I do not blame any one person for spending their money on what they want to buy. This is what money are for. This is why we get money. It's not necessarily to buy mount skins in a game. It's to buy things that make us happy, right? What else is money but a currency to buy shit that makes us happy? And so let people buy what they find to the things that they are happy with, right? Let them fucking do it. ArenaNet, on the other hand, also, I've seen a couple of threads throwing, or a couple of comments throwing shit at like the ArenaNet devs. Don't throw shit at the ArenaNet devs. This is not their fault. This is entirely on the marketing side of things. Because when you see a graph like this, August 2016, when you see a graph like this that spikes like this, oh, you guys can't even see it on the screen because of my webcam, like this. You're gonna do everything in your power to replicate that spike, and that spike was caused because of RNG and what's it called? Fucking discount on the RNG. So everyone fucking poured their money in it, and so you want to make a scenario where the price is right and the risk and reward are somewhat equal, but still, regardless of this entire build-up, we got a huge outrage, and I don't blame people. I don't blame people that buy them, as well as I don't blame people that want to buy them differently, because I'm one of those people. I'm one of those people who I can't for the life of me, as a concept, get behind gambling. Because and this is very subjectively minded. I'll say that, because I know that I'm not lucky in games. I'm never lucky in games. I've never been lucky in games, ever. I don't get a precursor. I don't get that cool infusion. I don't get the mount skin that I want if I actually go ahead and buy one. I'm not lucky. And so I'm just fundamentally against gambling. But gambling isn't necessarily... it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's a necessary evil as far as I see it. It's a necessary evil in the gaming industry nowadays, because what we have right now is a gaming industry that is bleeding. It is bleeding money out from every fucking orifice. They're dying. They're dying. They don't have money. Everyone's going down and under. Everything's going tits up, right? And so they have to introduce something. They have to introduce some way, shape, or form for them to kind of lure more than necessary money out of the general player base. They want to get you to gamble. But gambling in itself, as Jim Sterling would put it, baby's first steps, right? Baby's first gamble. When you hit that younger population who don't really get that idea of like this might be bad, or like this isn't, I probably shouldn't be partaking in this, I shouldn't be using my mom's credit card. It's a slippery slope. It's a slippery slope when you get that into that scenario. And that's where gambling in video games gets dangerous. But I don't blame the industry for having created it, because it's a necessary evil for them to survive. That does not necessarily, me understanding that, me saying that to you, does not necessarily make me happy with the situation. It doesn't make me any less positive about the situation and what they've put out, but it makes me understand why they did it. There are so few devs in the ArenaNet company that have actually made this happen necessarily. We've got a marketing team. We've probably got higher ups. We've got a lot of investors who see this spike, August 2016, and say, how can we do that again? How can we replicate that? How is that? How can we make more money? This is not on the devs. Don't throw shit at the devs. The devs did nothing about this. They did nothing to deserve this necessarily. They made 30 super cool mount skins. Super cool mount skins. Some of which I genuinely obviously want. But yeah, they're locked behind gambling. And so yeah, we're kind of in a weird situation. We're in a weird situation where a lot of people are upset about it, and I understand it. And we're in a weird situation where I wouldn't be surprised to find out that the devs, the developers, the ArenaNet developers, aren't necessarily wholeheartedly backing this idea. On the front, they will. You're gonna see their promotional material. You're gonna see the things that they say on the forums and whatnot will reflect a positive attitude, if any attitude, towards this. They're never gonna shit talk their own thing. That's not their policy, and like don't hassle them for it. This is how marketing works. It's how marketing works in the gaming industry. We throw money at them. We throw money at them, and investors will say, give us more. And it's a never-ending cycle. It's a never-ending cycle. I mentioned just a second ago, or just a little bit ago, I mentioned Heart of Thorns. Wait, this is Heart of Thorns, as far as I remember. I believe this is... Wait, isn't it? Yeah. This is Heart of Thorns. This entire thing, this downward slope, this has got to be the worst time for ArenaNet ever, because it was the longest. It was a content drought for like 9 months, but it was also that content drought, for as bad as it was for us, as bad as that content drought was for us, it must have felt even worse for ArenaNet, because they were working their ass off trying to make something new, but they were bleeding money. They were bleeding money. This slope is indicative of that, highly indicative of that. And so we get the August sales, which just kind of spike everything. And if you sit there after an expansion, you've been bleeding money for 6 months. You're kind of on an upward slope. You go into the kind of the sales months, and you get this spike. You're never gonna get out of this. It all started here. It all started with that fucking elemental sword. It all started because everyone wanted that fucking elemental sword. despite how ugly it was. LOL has no gambling. Wait, what? Yeah. You can't get around RNG gambling nowadays in gaming. The way that at least the way that ArenaNet are doing it with the mount skins, I'll give them credit for that. I'll give them some kind of credit for actually making a system which is a win-win situation for anyone. Despite you not getting the mount you wanted, you get something. You get another mount, right? It's not a hit or miss kind of deal. It gets bad when you introduce shit like, oh, here's a completely new mount. Like, say, what if the Griffin, which is like 250 gold on its own, which a lot of people have been against in itself. I can understand where they're coming from, but we're not going to get into that discussion right now. But imagine if it wasn't a 250 gold paywall, it was an RNG gem store paywall, or like that's more than just a paywall. Imagine if you'd actually get something crazy, something useful out of the RNG. We're not. We're getting cosmetics. The gem store, as bad as and as evil as it might seem to some people, it stays true to its purpose. It's solely cosmetic for the most part. I mean, I'll say that, and then I'll look at the silver fed and copper fed salvage-o-matic and say it's not really cosmetic anymore, guys. But it doesn't change your gameplay necessarily. Imagine if the RNG did that. Let me track back a little bit here. We get it. Oh, wait. I don't think it's necessary at all. The games that earn the most in the entire world don't have gambling. No, but like microtransactions in general are one thing. To address that very specific thing, because Guild Wars 2 could do a number of different things to manage their gem store in a different way to avoid gambling, but that will require necessary like let's say revive orbs, which some of you guys may have, maybe sitting on or whatnot. You all know what revive orbs are. I don't know where they are, but let's say revive orbs were the only way that you could actually get up. Let's say that there were no other methods of acquiring transmutation charges than going to the gem store. Let's say that you couldn't go to your home instance unless you had the portal stone. If you and the same with, like, let's say you couldn't repair your armor if you didn't have a repair canister. That's the kind of systems, that's the kind of games, mobile games especially, are big contenders in this game, where you cannot progress without buying this thing. You're locked for X hours, you're locked for X amounts of days or whatnot because you couldn't fucking repair your armor. If ArenaNet did that to this game, if they had done that from the very start, this game would be looking very differently, because they'd have a completely different influx of money. They wouldn't have to rely on RNG. RNG in video games, and to a certain extent, is all about luring you out of that extra dollar. It's all about getting you to say, they're getting you to buy this one, the reforged one, the reforged goat here, the Warhound, for 2,000 gems. But to get that, you have to buy 2,800 gems from the gem store. They're getting an extra $5 out of you, and those 800 gems, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? You're gonna save them? Probably not, but maybe. Other people are just gonna throw them at two other mounts. They want that extra dollar. That's what they're there for. And it makes sense, because they get that extra dollar. The system is built for that. The system is built in a way that favors the fact that the house will always win. It's what gambling is. It's one of the reasons I hate it. I think making it first time free maybe would have been a better idea. Maybe. Yeah, they could have actually done that, like they've done earlier with like Black Lion chess keys, or where they gave one for free, or like those boxes that gave out the Black Lion commemorative sprockets. You got one for free per account. It's like a little taste, but that taste is part of the game as well. That taste gets you hooked. It's like, all right, you get one for free, and then there's 29 others, but you didn't get that amount that you really wanted. Do you wanna throw in 400 more just to get that taste? The UI is built for it. It tells you to open another. Oh, like if I click here, it says open. When this one fills, if I have a key, it says open another, and it prompts you to, like, you're missing keys. Oh, click here to find them. It is built. It is tailored to be easy. It's tailored to be easy for the consumer to just throw 125 more keys, gems at the system. It's nothing. It's nothing. It happens, right? The mount stable, as I've seen it on like Reddit and stuff, or wherever people have shared videos of them opening these mounts. It's built the same way. Do I like the Reforged skins? No. I'll say this to begin with. It's obviously very subjective. I see how it's cool. I genuinely see how people would find this to be super cool. I think it's too flamboyant. I think it's too much. I think it looks like an iron goat. It's not a wolf anymore. And then there's the lore enthusiast in me that says this borderline does not make sense in the lore. Each of these makes sense. Even the Triceratops dude makes sense, because the form of the jackal, the sand and everything, isn't supposed to be like taking the shape of a hound. It's just what they chose to mold it as. And so to mold it as any other thing within the runes makes sense. To mold it inside a forged armor is borderline, because we don't really... It implies another aspect of the lore, which is like the capturing of a soul, and not the sand essence, or the essence of the torment in the sand. So it's, yeah, I'm against this in many ways, and I think this is gonna be one of my last points on my rant here, right? Thanks for the follow. This mount. Now I'm not gonna throw anyone under the bus here real quick, but I'm gonna show you guys a video of it real quick, just to show you what I mean before we get into it, before I start ranting on about it. I'm gonna show Dolphy's video. I hope she doesn't mind. This is Dolphy.net. She makes super amazing guides. If you don't know who she is, I don't think you play Guild Wars 2, but all right. Let me show you real quick. Like this is what it looks like, right? The thing about it, which gets me up in arms, is that this teleportation effect and everything, it's dyeable. This red color, it's exclusive. It's a little bit more special. It's crazy. At least to me it is, right? This mount and the effects and the changes that it has all the quality, all the features that you might expect from... Wait, I think my software here died. Did I die? No, I didn't die. All right. Sorry about that, lads. All right, what I was saying. This mount has all the effects and all the niche cosmetics that you might expect from a legendary mount. And why do I talk about a legendary mount? Oh, dude, I lagged. Okay, so I'm half dying. Screen not moving. It's just, I think if you refresh it, guys, don't think your dual screen is working. No, I think I should stop throwing shit around here. Refresh. Audio is good though. All right, if audio is good, refresh the stream real quick, and because I've got image now, it should kind of work. At least I hope. We did. Fixed. All right, it's fixed. All right, I'll restart that train of thought. Like as I showed you just before, Dolphy's video, and the whole you can dye the effects, you can change the effects. The effects are different. Like this is the basic one. This is the This is the basic effect, right? Let me remove all that. It's just sand. Sand behind it. It's a sand jackal. It's created from the tormented sand. The reforged one is like fire. You can dye the fire, so it's like blue or red or whatever the shit you want. This is all the effects that you might expect from a legendary. And the only reason why I'm mentioning this, the aspect of a legendary, is because, as I said earlier, if we ever are supposed to be getting anything that is acquirable, anything mount-wise that is acquirable in-game, ArenaNet has already shown their hand at how they're going to do it. And the only way that they're going to do it is the same way that they're going to do it with mount skins. Legendary. Legendary versions of the mounts. Now you may say, oh, but Deroyer, there's no reason why you should be getting these mount skins, legendary mount skins, because they don't have stats. Like legendaries, like everyone knows, in case anyone doesn't know, legendaries can change stats at will, blah blah blah. It's how they work. That's their whole gimmick. And so what do we have left? Well, we only have the cosmetics left. We only have a special cosmetic kind of effect left. And 3 skins in this new mount collection break everything that we already have from legendaries that might be a thing, right? This is probably the most visible I can show you, right? There's a trail effect on my Bifrost, on my staff here. If I ride it on any of my mounts, it's actually better on my. If I ride it here on any of my mounts, you can see there's this long trail. You can imagine that maybe a legendary mount might have something like that. It might have a trail. It might have shit like that. This Starbound Stardust Wolf, it has the same trail effect as my Astralary, my legendary axe Astralary. It's the same trail effect. Like literally just copied over. It's the same like that goes here. Same goes for the Starbound. And they're dyeable. It's a dyeable trail effect. It's way more legendary than any legendary mount skin that we might conceivably ask for. And so I asked this on Twitter yesterday. I said, genuine question. What is left? What is left for the option, for the possibility of a legendary mount skin, or just any mount skin to be acquired through the in-game acquisition method? None. As far as I see it, none. I don't see any way that we're going to get any mount skin that is not gem store and that is not legendary, because we already have everything. We have everything. Ride a tiger if you have Chuka. I wish. But like, you just make exclusive mount skins only available to whatnot, and then they might as well just be another basic skin, right? Legendary RNG gamble paywall. Thumbs up. Thumbs up. Now one of the reasons why I mentioned legendaries, I'll preface this by saying that I have a huge liking for legendaries. I love legendary weapons. Legendary, or this is not actually legendary. These are just skinned over legendaries, but technically legendary. Everything I have is legendary. It's kind of my thing. I want best in slot, right? Not because it's best in slot, but because legendary have extra things. They're super easy and malleable, right? And they're exclusive. I'll be completely honest, they're exclusive. It's the same attitude I have towards the glider skins here, the legendary glider skins. They're exclusive. It's why I like them. There's a process to getting them that I can get behind. It doesn't matter if it was easy, if it was hard, if it was long, if it was fucking a pain in the dick, right? It doesn't matter how you got any of these. We all went through the same thing, and we all understand each other that this is kind of cool. The legendary is kind of cool. It says something. It says you did something in the game. It says you did something other than pull out your credit card. You played the game. I mean, that's not necessarily how it works for legendary weapons. You can kind of buy them off the trading post. But it says that you have a lot of gold at least. So, whatnot. Griffin equals a legendary mount, maybe? It resembles that same structure of, like, acquisition. I had that same thing. But it's not really an exclusive thing. It's tailored to the baseline... income of like the general player base that we have. The Griffin is not intended to be expensive, even though some people seem to believe that it was or it is. It's supposed to be. It's genuinely tailored to the median money distribution that we have in the game. So most people should be able to acquire the mount in a reasonable amount of time, or having real gold IRL. So yeah, I'll leave this discussion for now on this question. Do you guys think that we're gonna get any in-game acquirable mounts in the foreseeable future? Do you genuinely believe that to any extent? Because for me, seeing these new mounts, I don't. I don't have any real hope that we're gonna see any cool in-game acquirable mounts. Now, I don't fault ArenaNet, as I've stated all of this through this entire discussion. I don't blame them in any way, shape, or form. I understand fully where they're coming from. I think it's a shame. I'm disappointed. I'm especially going to be really disappointed if there's not going to be a legendary acquirable, in-game acquirable mount at any point in time. Not because it's legendary, but because it's something other than the RNG hell that we're bound to right now. So yeah. Yeah. Cheers, guys. It's time to move into GW3. Whoa. I don't even think we will ever see any in-game loot mounts. Yeah. That's what kind of... I think if they were ever going to do like non-legendary mounts, but still in-game acquirable mounts, they'd be going for like these standard ones. Not that one. Stuff like that, or that. Like just skin texture changes. Another thing. Maybe Sind will get an exclusive one. Yeah, maybe the PvPers PvP exclusive will have a skimmer with their logo on or whatnot. Now, another thing that that I was thinking about, the Halloween mounts. The Halloween mounts. Do I regret buying them? I almost instantly regretted buying them. I don't like them. I genuinely don't like them. Most of the color palettes that I've kind of tried to work out has kind of been to try and work over the skeleton thematics for the Halloween ones. But at least with the Halloween ones, I knew what I was getting. The best ones are like the dark color ones where you can just make them all black. But yeah, If I could take back my purchase on the Halloween mounts, I would. I don't like them at all, but I kind of argued with myself in the shape of like, at least it's something different than the standard mount, and like I'm not gonna be running around with the standard mount for forever. At least I thought that, but I might now. Oh yeah, last note on the mount actually, and I'll make this the last note because I said it was the last note just a second ago. Last note here. These, if you buy one of these, I only saw this because I watched Mr. MMO Inc.'s video just before I went live actually. Go follow him on Twitter. I hear he runs his Illuminati consultant firm from Twitter. Anyways, the way that when you open the mount adoption license, it shows you can get a preview of all the different ones, all the different mounts that are in there. And right now there's 30, but there's space for more. Like you can preview like this. There's space for more. There's open space and room for change. Watch as this grows by 10 every 1 or 2 months. Watch as it just exponentially grows to a larger and larger pool. And that 30-sided die is going to turn into a 40-sided die if you haven't bought any of them. And then a 50. Until we have 100 different mounts. And now there's actually something funny. I kind of want to show you guys. What purple aura is on my chart? Yeah, that's the, yeah, you're completely right, Mr. Masson. That's Aurora. That's the legendary trinket, Aurora. The same that also does the balls around my head there. There's something funny. Rand is over, guys. Rand is over. This I kind of got most of my thoughts out of the way here on the subject. Bottom line, don't flame ArenaNet. Don't flame the people that buy them. Let them buy them. More power to them. Seriously, more power to them. Buy these mounts if you like them.